This is your dad. He said your mom was going to buy milk, then turned around and walked out. And from that moment on, you never saw him again. You enter life beside your mother in a dark, hidden place. No Arctic snow, no majestic ocean. Just the smell of old wood, dry dust, and the faint hum of distant human houses. Your mom chose this shelter carefully. Maybe a tree hollow, a rotten log, or the quiet corner of an attic no one ever checks. The moment you open your eyes, no, you can't. Not yet. You're tiny, fragile, barely able to see, barely able to hear. Your first mission is painfully simple. Stay close to mom, stay warm, and don't die. You haven't even figured out what the world is when your stomach starts demanding answers. You press into your mother, searching for milk. Her milk is your entire universe because you can't hunt anything. But even feeding isn't safe. Your mom is always listening. One strange sound, one unfamiliar scent, and she shifts the nest instantly. Because predators don't wait for permission. Dogs, foxes, wildcats, big owls that specialize in helpless babies. You haven't seen them yet, but your mom knows they're there. And she lives for one goal, getting you through the most fragile part of your life. A few weeks pass and the world starts to unlock. Your hearing sharpens. Your eyes begin to open. A thin shaft of light hits the den, and you blink like you've just walked into a room where someone flipped the switch without warning. You start noticing moving shadows, distant sounds, things that feel wrong. And you learn something important. Danger doesn't always growl. In the suburbs, some dangers don't need claws. Cars, asphalt, roads that look harmless, right up until you step onto them. Then one night, your mom takes you outside for the first time. This isn't a walk. This is training. You stay low, tucked close to her, every sense pulled tight. She chooses the dark route. She avoids the bright patches. You hear dry leaves, insects, and far ahead, a soft metallic sound, like a lid tapping plastic. You look up and see huge, boxy shapes sitting quietly near a human house. You don't know what they are. Your mom does. This is where night shift dinner lives. You learn the first rules of raccoon life. Rule 1. Don't stay in the light too long. Rule 2. If a door opens, back off immediately. Rule 3. If a motion light snaps on, freeze or retreat, depending on the shadows. Because motion lights and doorbell cameras don't sleep. They don't chase you, but they identify you. And once humans know your face, your life gets harder. Honestly, in a neighborhood, you don't always lose because you're hungry. Sometimes you lose because you got filmed, a little too clearly. That night, you discover your first treasure, the trash bin. You watch your mom use your front paws, pull, pry, flip. Small movements, precise movements. Not brute force, patience, skill. You try to copy her. You touch the lid. Clack. Your heart jumps. For a second, you're sure you just triggered the end of your entire career. Your mom gives you a look. Message received. If you're going to do this, do it quietly. You understand. You get softer. You get stiller. You learn fast. But then another shadow appears. Not a human, not a dog. A bigger raccoon. It smelled the same dinner. You face each other for a few seconds. No one makes a sound because raccoons don't need words to understand what this is. This isn't meeting a neighbor. This is competition. Your mom doesn't rush into a fight. In the wild, injuries are expensive. One small bite can get infected, slow you down, and kill you later for the stupidest reason, like not being able to escape the next danger. Your mom pulls you back. You retreat. You lose a meal, but you keep the more important thing, your life. Time moves fast. You grow. You stop living on milk. You start feeding yourself. Fallen fruit, insects, frogs, seeds, and lucky leftovers humans throw away without thinking. And you realize something funny. You don't need to be the best hunter. You need to be the best observer. You learn which house puts trash out early, which night the bins are full, which routes have fewer lights, which yards have dogs that get let out at the same time every night. The neighborhood becomes a maze, and you memorize it through smell and routine. And then you almost pay for one mistake. One night you cross the street because the air on the other side smells like food. You look left. You look right. Seems fine. And then headlights slice across the road and a car surges forward. You jump back, fur standing up, lungs punching air. You freeze on the curb, breathing hard. No one taught you that lesson with words.
God.
You only learn it by surviving it. From that night on, you fear big roads more than you fear dogs. You mature. Your body gets heavier, stronger. You're not the little shadow trailing your mother anymore. You move on your own rhythm now. In places with easy food, adult raccoons can weigh several kilos, sometimes over 10. But the most valuable thing isn't size. It's experience. You learn when to skip a risky meal. You learn when to retreat early. You learn that a raccoon's real victory isn't eating the most. It's living the longest. Then breeding season arrives. You meet a mate during a brief window of the year. It happens fast, the way nature does things. After that, the female finds a hidden shelter and raises the babies. And the new mother repeats what your mother did. Guarding, moving at night, teaching the young to walk in shadows, to avoid lights, and to leave before anyone notices. Years pass. You grow old without any warning bell. It starts small. One night you run a little slower. Another night you jump onto a trash bin and your back foot slips. You hang on, but the jump doesn't feel light anymore. You stand on the lid, breathing hard, your chest rising and falling longer than it used to. You hook your front paws under the edge and try to pry it open. The lid doesn't move. You switch paws. You strain harder. Your shoulders shake. Still nothing. You try again, your body tilts, you lose balance for half a second, and you drop to the ground with a heavy thud. You lie still for a moment like you're trying to understand what just happened. Things that used to be habits become challenges. A fence you once climbed in one motion now makes you pause halfway to breathe. A road you once crossed in a dash now makes you stand longer, listening, calculating, fearing. You hear cars and your body wants to dodge, but your legs don't launch like they used to. You start skipping the difficult bins. You choose easier ones, closer to bushes. You eat less. You leave earlier. You return earlier. Your world gets smaller. And then one night, you stop looking for trash bins. You start looking for quiet. You follow an old path, past familiar bushes, into a corner no one visits. Maybe an old tree hollow. Maybe a space beneath stacked wood. You crawl in and curl up the way you did at the beginning of your life, except this time, there's no mother beside you. Your breathing slows, and the darkness finishes the job. The next morning, the neighborhood wakes up like nothing happened. People still roll their bins out. Motion lights still flick on. Doorbell cameras still record. Only one shadow doesn't return to the night shift. And somewhere else, in another dark, hidden shelter, a new raccoon nest begins again. Blind, fragile, pressed close to its mother for warmth, learning the first lesson of raccoon life. Stay quiet, be gentle, and always remember your escape route. The cycle continues.